Welcome to Trash or Treasure, where we're going to be playing through classic games to see whether or not they are trash or treasure. First up on the list is Splinter Cell. You might notice, looking at this, that it looks a little bit different. I am running a couple of mods purely to make it so the game runs well on PC, because out of the box it doesn't. It's not great. So this simply cleans up some of the rough textures. It adds quick save and a few other features that are missing from the base PC game that were added later in other editions. And it just adds a handful of quality of life improvements, like being able to play the controller. So if you see some stuff where you're like, hey, this looks slightly different, that's why. We will start a new profile. We'll just leave it on normal. Alright, well, or we could just use the Sam one. That's also fun.
Canceled a trip to Georgia this morning after the suicide bomb assassination of that country's president by separatist rebels from the Abkhazia region. Continued fighting in the Abkhazia and South Ossetia regions has hindered Georgia's hopes of integration into Western institutions. Industry baron Kombain Nikolad seized power today in a bloodless
May
coup,
1st,
installing himself in the
2004.
presidential palace behind a wall of political and military support. The charismatic billionaire plans on holding elections within a matter of days to affirm his seat of power and promises a pristine and profitable relationship with America and the West. Bringing high-speed fiber optic connectivity to areas of Eastern Europe that less than a decade past didn't have telephones. The technological leap is due largely to the efforts of rising information industries in the Netherlands, and especially Georgia, where the Vice President called his visit to Georgia an honor and called Georgian President Kombain Nikolads a man with his eyes on the future.
Yeah, definitely nothing shady going on there. As an agent, Sam Fisher, you've been recruited to spearhead the operational arm of the National Security Agency's Third Echelon Initiative. Before being sent into the field, you must demonstrate that you possess the skills to undertake dangerous and covert solo missions, which is important to note because he's not allowed to take missions with a friend. Only solo. Nobody likes him. They don't really talk about that, but it's implied. So for those of you who have played this with the original PC port, you'll immediately notice the aspect ratio is normal. It's not all crazy looking because the shadows are messed up in the original release.
Sam Fisher. I can't believe you beat me here.
I like to be early. Hello, Colonel.
You can use my name. The room's safe.
Lambert.
Good to see you again. I trust NSA orientation is going well?
Well enough. Everybody's been real coy about what exactly I'm allowed to know.
It's the nature of the agency. We don't let any one person know everything, which means we've all got to work together.
Even though I'll be out there alone.
You'll be transmitting to us in more ways than you can imagine, and we'll be online through your earpiece and OPSAT.
And that's how we're handling training.
Yep. Sorry to make you run the course. I know you've been taking care of yourself.
That's
I
weird.
haven't been in the field in years.
Sure. But tradecraft is something you don't forget. It's like riding a bike.
Or wearing high heels.
Be careful, Fisher. Everything we say is being monitored. You know how nervous the brass is about exercising the fifth freedom.
I'll be good.
Be better than good. Third Echelon is a brand new initiative. The role aggressive intelligence operations will play in NSA's future will depend largely on your performance. I'll see you on the far side of the course. All right, Sam. Let's get started. Can you hear me clearly?
Hi there.
Good. That means the implanted speaker is working correctly. Now, the technicians here want to calibrate your equipment. Can you turn to the red emergency light on the wall to your left? Great. Now the one on your right. Okay, same thing for pitch. Look for another light up in the rafters on the ceiling. Excellent. Now look for one on the ground in front of you. All right, Fisher. We'll get through this as quickly as possible. We'll start simple. Climb up onto that ledge, over that pool.
You know, I don't think most covert training begins with, can you move your neck in a certain direction? Because, I mean, those are bad operatives. If you've got to figure out whether or not their neck works, maybe you don't need them. I'm just saying. Oh, I don't remember what the passcode is to this. We'll pick it up later, even though we're not going to use it. Oh, we'll just go like this. There we go. Actually, is it... No. Okay. That is a shrill noise, my word. Just gonna casually run along this. So I should say, I do enjoy stealth games, but I don't play them entirely as stealth games. I mean, listen, look, if the goal is to get from point A to point B without being seen, or recorded rather, if everyone who saw you is dead, it's like you were never there, you know. You'll see. I will say none of the controls display as your gamepad or however you're playing. So you will see it display them as keyboard, even though that's
We'll
not
let
actually
you do your
playing.
thing here. You're looking at your basic assault course. I'll chime back in once you've passed it.
I'm glad they explained to me it was an assault course. For a minute, I thought that our enemies had set up camp in a military warehouse. You know how it is. Come on. Although I suppose if Sam can't figure out how to jump and grab a rope, maybe he should have to run this, let's be honest. Okay. The classic Splinter Cell move that you will never see me use. It's terrible. I remember everyone, when this first came out, being like, oh, you can do the wall split move. And you just never use it. There's never a good reason to. It's just a funny thing he could do as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, the graphics look much better with the enhanced mod. Now, I'm not using the enhanced mod for the graphical improvements. It's just all the quality of life stuff. Because the game is almost unplayable as released. On PC, mind you, it wasn't as bad on consoles. And the same is true for Pandora Tomorrow, the second game. It's, without the mods, it's just terrible on PC. The shadows are broken and weird. None of it works the way you want it to. So. Come on. I will say the controls do feel a little bit dated, but not terrible. They just feel very much like an early Xbox, PS2, that kind of era.
Good job, Fisher. As soon as you can find a way over the gate, we'll move on to covert ops training.
Oh, it's locked. If only we had picked up a lockpick. I will say, of all the lockpicking mini-games I've seen in games, this is arguably one of the worst. It doesn't feel good. It just feels like it slows down the game. But, you know, what are you going to do? early video games. So that data stick, I'm not going to read all of the data sticks because we'd be here for an extra 4 hours. But it does have, you can see the 5656 password for that door at the start. And it's Grimm's daughter up there. Alright, let's go to this part.
You're moving on into covert ops. The objective is to sneak through the area without being detected. We've got live bodies in there. Some of the top CIA instructors have kindly volunteered to be your victims.
Why are they CIA instructors? They couldn't find, like, a janitor and give him an extra, couple $100 or anything. It's instructors, which seems weird.
The next door is locked, Sam. You'll need to use your lockpicks to get through it.
So we're just gonna click through. It's hard to tell what's happening watching the gameplay, but you're basically moving around the left stick until you can see the pen jiggle, and then you just keep moving it back and forth. It doesn't feel good. Oh, this is another thing that's been added. So normally you would only be able to see this at the end of a mission, but with the enhanced edition you can see it as you play through. I never use it, but if you see it pop up and you're like, what is that? That's super weird. That's why it's there.
This next door is keypad locked. The man guarding the door has the code to open it, but he's been instructed not to cooperate. Convince him otherwise.
Now, I could offer him $20 and say, listen, you and I both know this is fake. Here's $20. What's the code? But I guess we'll play along for the sake of Lambert, and we'll just, I don't know, give this guy brain damage.
Hi there.
Hi.
You're not going easy on me, are you?
Not so tight. That hurts.
Sorry about that. What's the door code?
28469.
It was a pleasure working with you.
Likewise. 28469. Wow.
Oh. The controls and the keypad are a little bit touchy. I don't know why.
This next door is retinal scanner locked. These things are cheap and near impossible to hack. Fortunately, it's just a matter of getting the right eyes to the scanner, usually an officer. The gentleman ahead is registered for the scanner. Convince him to open the door for you.
Now, this time, we're going to have to drag him over and force him to open the lock. But if you remember to bring your spoon, you have other options. I don't. We'll do it this way. It's less messy. All right. We've got a new friend. We'll just casually bring him along with us. Oh, right. Sam isn't allowed to work with people solo only. Sorry, buddy. Have a good nap.
Let's work on stealth. Your gun should always be a last resort. Invisibility is your best weapon. We've got a network of photocells on your outfit connected to a visibility meter on your OPSAT. If the meter's at 4, you're lit up like a Dutch brothel. At 0, you're a ghost's shadow.
Hey, why is his frame of reference specifically a Dutch brothel? What's going on with Lambert? I mean, he's got big divorced energy? Maybe there's something there. I don't know. Just saying. Alright, let's get our gun out. This is something that, when the game originally came out, I remember was, for the time, very cool. Being able to shoot out lights to make an area dark so cameras can't see you is genuinely very cool. Even today, that's super fun in games. To achieve that back
Some
then
cameras are more
really
fragile,
was
and all
something.
you'll need to do to get past them is shoot them.
I like that he's like, your gun is the last resort, except with these kind of cameras. Just shoot them. It's fun. They took our gun away. It's almost like they think we would shoot the instructors as we move through the level. And I would never get caught doing that.
Sometimes the only way to pass a camera will be to stick to existing shadows and time your movements.
This is one of the early parts that I remember being very frustrating. And I'm actually going to take advantage of the save feature so that if I fail, you don't have to watch me replay like 10 minutes of the game. There we go.
Knock out the guard in the corridor and hide his body before the patrolling guard finds it.
I like that, you know, they told this guy act distracted. He was like, oh, I'll just stare at this rack of computer parts that don't do anything.
Okay, now, Fisher, let's bring in another guard to evaluate your work. Good work, Sam. Remember that discretion is critical to our operations. Covering up the evidence of your passing through will go a long way towards proving our usefulness in the field.
Now, this guy could walk out and find that body. So we're just going to make sure that that doesn't happen. Could we leave him knocked out in this dark room? Of course. Or we could make a cuddle puddle, and I think that's more interesting. Now they're going to have a story when they wake up. All right. Think we're going this way? Yes. This room is evil. This is super annoying.
The next hallway's the same idea, but for sound. I'll be monitoring a few hidden mics.
Are they hidden if you tell me they're there? I don't think that's how that works, and I'm right. I've got hidden mics they're hidden. Don't worry about it. They're literally hanging from the ceiling. His hidden mics. But we are gonna do another quick save. Like I said, I'll be doing these semi-regularly just to make sure that I don't have to replay sections, just to keep the video moving.
Not quite soft enough. Give it another shot.
You have to hit the crouch button when you go over this ledge. And for some reason, it just doesn't work sometimes like
Not
that.
quite soft enough.
And
Give
I
it another
don't know
shot.
why. Every other point in the game, it works fine. It's just right here. For some reason.
Not quite soft enough. Give it another shot.
Yeah, yeah, hidden at eye level. And they're swaying too. They're not even in any way hidden. It's hilarious.
Not quite soft enough. Give it another shot.
Fun fact, Sam never does anything other than this one thing for the rest of the game. Oh my word. I remember playing this when I was younger and thinking the game was genuinely broken. It just doesn't work sometimes.
Not quite soft enough. Give it another shot.
Yeah, see, for some reason, standing up and doing that weird wiggle walk to the edge sometimes works. Same with this. For some reason, you have to stand up, move towards the ledge, and jump in order to get up there. In a room where you're supposed to be super silent. When I was a kid, this infuriated me. This is one of the worst parts of the game. And it's, what, 15 minutes in?
Have you started yet? Fisher! Holy Christmas, you're at the end. Phenomenal work. Let's move on.
It's interesting that it's Holy Christmas and not, demonic Christmas. That's the cool Christmas. Some would call it Chrysler, and yeah, I agree. It's nice of them.
Yep. Sam Fisher, let me introduce you to Vernon Wilkes Jr.
Hello.
Nothing bad happens
I've
to
heard crazy
Warner.
things about your work.
I hope you don't mind. I told him some of your stories from Kuwait.
We're all friends here.
Right on.
Junior Wilkes is a longtime NSA employee. He'll be your wheels, wings, and weapons. He coordinates transportation and equipment.
Great.
For sure. Man, you must be itching to get back out in the field, huh?
It's all I'm good at.
Well, it's all we need. Welcome to the NSA.
I'm sure things are going to come together famously. Third Echelon is a brand new initiative, and we're going to have a lot to prove.
Right.
The two of you will be Third Echelon's first team on the ground. Be ready for it, and do us proud. Welcome to the NSA.
So Sam's solo missions, not so solo. They're like low, not solo. Congratulations, Fisher. You have demonstrated that you are the right man to spearhead the NSA's Third Echelon initiative. The onus will be on you to prove the worth of deploying solo covert operatives by gathering intelligence in the field and tracking deliberate actions. What? Deliberate action based on that intelligence. Welcome to the NSA. NSA, famously the good guys. Nothing bad, don't Google it.